Hello and welcome to the HI UK Select monthly video update for September 2025. I'm Paul Marriage of Premier Miton. So this has been a slightly better month for the fund. We've had a difficult summer overall and this has not been an easy quarter. The market's very narrow and in the UK we had a lot of concern over the budget. But within that context we've had a reasonable number of stock winners and losers. So starting with the long book, the most successful investments from the long book have been our miners, where we've got exposure to copper. There's some copper shortages out there and there's a general feeling that copper could be in demand for quite a long time now. So our positions in Glencore and Anglo American have been good. Anglo American also announced a major merger with a Canadian firm Teck, which overall has been taken positively by investors. So miners led the way for us there. In terms of the more negative stocks outside that, things were a bit of a headwind for us. London Stock Exchange Group, LSEG, I think people are still concerned about perhaps their pricing power and the impact of AI on their business. Smurfit Westrock, the global packaging business, also a little bit sluggish pricing in that market, even though we have seen a bit of positive broker commentary. It was nice to see Computacenter have a good rally this month. Computacenter's been a little bit up and down, but I think a nervous bunch of investors were pleased to see some stability in their latest numbers. So that was good to see a strong rally there. So overall, the short book reasonably balanced, but led by those miners, which were good for us. The long book, rather. The short book, on the other hand, the leading position in the short book, the biggest win for us was Ocado. Ocado has been a great long-term short for this business. The long-term bear case in Ocado is that it is not a cash generator. It's been a loss-making company for a long time. It's got quite a lot of debt. And the idea that they're the kind of Amazon of groceries in terms of the technology behind grocery distribution seems to be frayed a bit in the basis that some of their larger clients don't seem to be using it as much as they had hoped. And this month, people were particularly concerned about their relationship with Kroger, the US grocer, and how that might pan out. So Ocado very weak on the month, and that was obviously good for the short book. Conversely, our main pain in the short book was a squeeze in European semiconductor stocks. So we'd successfully shorted these earlier in the summer, but there was a bit of a change in investor sentiment, and I think probably that market was a little bit more crowded than we thought, so we saw a bit of a short squeeze there. Perhaps people buying long semicon baskets as well, so not only was there some short covering, there was probably a bit of long buying. So overall, that was quite painful. The main hit stock-wise there for us were Siltronic, a German company, and VAT Group of Switzerland. We also suffered from beaten market expectations results at H&M, the Swedish global fashion retailer. So yeah, some puts and takes in the short book. So overall, it's been a difficult market. I think we've seen slightly more positive momentum overall this month, and we've ended a little bit more positively. We feel that's a good sign. You know, as I said at the start, this is a very narrow market. In the UK, people have been very focused on the budget, and thus far, that's been a pretty negative, prospect of tax rises. I think as we get closer to the budget, people may realise that, perhaps expectations are too negative for the budget. The budget may not be as bad as expected, and maybe the government will grasp the nettle, which is to increase income tax and reduce spending, primarily welfare spending, which they've tried once before. If they can achieve those two things, I think the market would actually take that positively. So that's a positive risk as we go into Q4. That's actually at the end of November. So it probably won't impact this month so much, but it's definitely something to talk about as we come into the calendar year end. We also see a heck of a lot of second half weightings in company forecasts. Now, we would expect that some of those probably won't be achieved. Some of those look too greater a mountain to climb. So there could be some interesting alpha to be had there. So overall, the opportunities, we've not been short opportunities this year. It's been navigating a market that's been more challenging with a lot of very volatile share price moves. We don't expect that to change going into Q4, but clearly we'll look to regain some positive performance momentum as we continue to work hard to deliver for investors. Thank you.